a presidential primary election because your political party does matter, and being registered to vote is certainly the first step in being able to vote on election day or whether or not to receive a mail ballot. So let me kind of give you a couple of statistics at this point in time. Right now, we have over 520,000 nonpartisan registered voters in our county. That represents 29% of the electorate. And these nonpartisan voters have a choice other than voting for nothing in terms of a presidential candidate, right? Is if you look at the presidential nonpartisan ticket, you will see that there are no presidential candidates listed on the nonpartisan ballot. But a nonpartisan voter has a choice, and the reason why is because the Democratic Party, the Libertarian Party, and the American Independent Party have opened up their presidential candidates to nonpartisan voters. And we had sent out a mailer last year asking for the nonpartisan mail ballot voters, which had a total of 380,000 of those voters that we mailed out a menu of these options to the nonpartisan voters. And approximately 62,000 voters responded back to that mailer, either to request one of these political party ballots or they re-registered to vote altogether. What that means is that there are over 300,000 nonpartisan ballots that voters received that are nonpartisan voters, that they received the default nonpartisan ballot without the presidential candidate on it. And we were really speaking to those nonpartisan voters, and the reason why is because there is still time to receive a ballot of your choice if you act now. And there's an urgency associated with that. And we're also asking voters if they have changed their address, if they've moved, if they want to change their respective political party, now is the time to do it while there is still time, because we're approaching that February 18th deadline. Doing so afterwards is only going to create long lines at either the polling location or here at the Registrar of Voters office. And so we're asking all registered voters to double check and verify their information, and that includes their mailing address, their residence address, and particularly their political party. And for the nonpartisan voters, it's especially important if you've received a mail ballot that has nonpartisan without a presidential candidate on it, for you to act if you're wanting to vote a presidential candidate of your choice. And that means that you would need to contact our office, whether it's by email, by phone, or there's an online application of what those choices are. And let me repeat what those are. Besides the nonpartisan ballot that you see here, you have the ability to cross over and select the American Independent Party ballot, the Libertarian Party ballot, or the Democratic Party ballot. Now, those people that have crossed over and wanted to vote a political party ballot that has opened up their presidential candidates, 92% of those individuals have crossed over and selected the Democratic Party ballot. So we know that there are over 300,000 nonpartisan voters that have received a default ballot that most likely will want an option other than that nonpartisan ballot, and we're asking those voters to act now. Don't delay. Time is of the essence when it comes down to acting in this upcoming election and not waiting to election day, because what that will do is produce long waiting lines, as what we saw during the November 2018 election, where on election day we saw approximately a 5-hour waiting line for individuals to exercise their right to register as well as to vote. And so that's what we're trying to avoid. We know it's going to be a big presidential election year. We also know that there are mail ballots that are still in circulation. We sent out 1.3 million mail ballots, and to date we received 75,000 mail ballots back. That represents nearly 6% of the overall ballots that we have sent out, and we know that there are many more out there. So to incentivize those voters, there's two things that we've done this year that's new. One is every single mail ballot package has an I voted sticker in that, as well as you do not need to put postage on any mail ballot any longer to return it back to our office. It's already prepaid for you. So if you're a mail ballot voter, please make your selections known, get them back to our office. We've received 75,000 back. Thank you for all those voters. But again, we still have over 1.2 million mail ballots that have still need to still come back to our office. Let's make it a good, robust turnout. I anticipate it's going to be a good turnout, but it will be incumbent upon every voter out there to act as well. Thank you so much. Any questions? Tracy, sleep. So if you are a mail ballot voter and you've got it in hand and you're a nonpartisan voter and want to cross over to another political party, again, you can contact our office via phone, 858-565-5800. Go to our website, which is sdvote.com, and there's an online application that you can fill out, or you can simply email us as well. And our email address is at sdvote.com as well. So please contact us, let us know what your choices are well before it's too late, either to receive another mail ballot, because time is waning, as well, or going to the polling location, of which it will create long lines on election day.
Okay, that was my question. So if I decide to change, can I get a new ballot, or do I have to come up here, or can I still go to my polling place?
That's correct. If you are a nonpartisan voter and received a nonpartisan ballot without the presidential choice, you do not have to come to our office. You can if you choose to, but the more simpler way, more maybe convenient way of doing that is contacting our office by phone, or go to our website and fill out the online application, or emailing us.
And then will I still get a new ballot, or what do I do?
What we will do is we will suspend that nonpartisan ballot, and then we will reissue you the ballot of your choice. Now, again, I should mention is that there are 3 political parties that are closing off their presidential candidates to everyone except for those within their respective political party, including the nonpartisan voters. That includes the Republican Party, the Peace and Freedom Party, and the Green Party. So if you're a nonpartisan voter and want to vote on those respective presidential candidates, you need to re-register. And so you need to re-register today. If you wait too long, again, you're going to find yourself running out of time of receiving that mail ballot, voting it, and getting it back to our office. And that's the last thing we want to have happen, particularly to our San Diego County voters who turn out in robust numbers.
And what about people that don't mail in ballot?
Those individuals that are a non-mail ballot voter, so your only option is to go to your polling location on election day. Your selections will be made available to you at the polling location, and we will have 1,548 precincts, of which every single voter within the county are assigned to go to one. They're each assigned to go to one of those respective locations, and the poll workers will assist you on your availability of what your options are there.
Okay.
When's the deadline for the mail ballot for changing it?
To receive, the last day to request a mail ballot is 7 days prior to the election. And you do not want to wait till the 7th day before the election, because it takes us time to process it, time for us to package and create the ballot and put it in the mail, and for you to receive it through the U.S. Postal Service and then vote it and then get it back to us as well. So I would say 7 days is, although the legal deadline, it's too late for us to get you something and have you vote it and get it back to us. We know that there are presidential candidates that are still out there in presidential primary elections that are occurring outside of the state of California. But if you know who you want to vote for, do so now and get that mail ballot back to us. Again, 74% of the electorate, of our electorate, has received a mail ballot in this election. So what that means is there's approximately 400,000 to 500,000 polling place voters that are out there.
For the mail-in ballot, do they have to ship it back, or can they drop it off here themselves?
So if you are a mail ballot voter, you can drop it off in the mail stream, the U.S. Postal Service. That's how we recommend at this point in time that you return your mail ballot. As it gets closer to the election, you can certainly drop it off here as well. But as it gets closer to the election, starting on February 24th through March 3rd, we will have 62 mail ballot drop-off locations that you can drop it off. And every single mail ballot voter had that insert of all those 62 locations in their mail ballot package. But again, we have 75,000 mail ballots returned. That may seem like a lot, but it's nowhere close than how many that we actually sent out, to the tune of over 1.3 million registered voters received a mail ballot.
So what happens if I don't register in time? What can I do?
So if you miss the February 18th deadline, there's still an option to participate in the election. It's called conditional voter registration. It should be the measure of last resort, as opposed to something that you want to wait till that period occurs. And the reason why is because you'll still have to fill out additional paperwork, which is an inconvenience to you, but as well, it also makes you vote that same day, which creates a long line, particularly at the polling place. And that's what I was describing earlier, is that during the November 2018 conditional voter registration, voters that came to our office here on election day stood in line for 5 hours to exercise that conditional voter registration option. We do not want that to occur for this upcoming election, so we're asking, imploring all voters to act with a sense of urgency and register now, update your registration record now, do everything well in advance of February 18th.
Make it easy on yourself.
Make it easy on yourself, let it be a hassle-free voting experience.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.